Hi guys, welcome to another beer review. Hope you're well. If I'm a little bit all over the place in this video, that's because I'm feeling a tiny bit rough today. Basically, last night we were doing another beer tubers hangout, and because the better half is away having fun in Rome, hopefully she brings me back some nice Italian craft beer. I thought, do you know what, I'll go to Beretta, pick up a few beers, and I'll have a few on that night, and then I can review the last two or three over the last week that I'm here in Germany. Yeah, ended up just drinking all of them. Thankfully I reviewed three of them, but yeah, even though it's only six beers, I mean, I had maybe one or two throughout the day. I mean, I recorded them, the same day I was doing the rest of these beers, so 8 beers throughout the day, and yeah, it's one of those things where I could drink without sounding all bullshit macho and stuff like that. Like, I could drink 20 bottles of vodka, mate, that sort of stuff. I can drink quite a bit and be perfectly fine, but it doesn't matter how much I drink. As if I drink more than like 3 or 4, the next day I feel rough as hell. I don't know. It's probably a signal that I should stop drinking if little amounts do that to me. Um, but yeah, I love this hobby, and I love the people who I've come across, and all you guys who watch these videos, and it's just fun to do. So I thought I'd have a sort of hair of the dog sort of thing going on, and review the last beer that I've got in the apartment. And yeah, I'm not going to be buying any more beer probably until I go back to England, which is probably a lie, because I'll probably go to Beretta again this weekend to pick up a couple of beers, because I had the what was it? It was Mad Dog's Deadlift or something like that. Bear with me 1 second. Yeah, I drank the Mad Dog Dead Rise Old Bay Summer Ale, and I thought that was absolutely beautiful. And yeah, always take the labels when I can so I can do something with them. I'm actually working on doing the other side to that Clueless drinker backdrop that I made, which I hardly ever use properly anyway. But yeah, definitely going to be picking myself up another bottle of that, because that was absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, all the beers that I drank last night were great. So yeah, I digress. I apologise. Actually, no, I don't. I like doing this because I don't really get to talk about beer often with people outside of YouTube. So I like to make the most of it. So I'd rather make like a 10, 12, 15-minute video and just casually talk about beer than edit the shit out of a video. And it's not really that truthful. I only really edit stuff when it... Who cares? Who cares? Losing my train of thought. So yeah, anyway, today's beer is another one, and the third and final one actually, from the Köstritzer Meisterwerke box that I picked up. Again, paid like €4 or €5 for it. You get free 500ml beers, 500ml bottles of beer, and a tasting glass. The taste of the glass alone made it worth it for me, and the two beers that I've had so far aren't that bad. And yeah, I'm more than happy to have paid that. So hopefully this is going to top it off nicely, and I've saved this one to last because it's probably my least favourite style-wise. I'm not a wheat beer fan, as most of you guys know, but this is a Wit beer, which apparently has characterful fruit notes, and it's inspired from the Belgian brewing traditions. So yeah, I do like wit beers over wheat beers because they have a little bit more character to them. I find they're a little bit more spicy. They've got more of a satisfying flavour profile to me. And yeah, so what is the ingredients in this? Obviously water, wheat malts, roasted malt, no, that's not roasted malts, normal malts, pilsner malts I should say, and the hops used are Goldings. And then they use orange peels, coriander and yeast. So it's a fairly standard you know, build for a wit beer, I suppose. So hopefully it's going to be nice and refreshing, crispy, that sort of thing. Clocking in at 5.4% and best before the 1st of November this year, so not the freshest, but I hope that it's kept its flavour. Not sure when these were actually bottled. Like I said in the pale ale review, the reason why it was probably so cheap is because they've got a big backlog and they've just shipped it out to different supermarkets. I don't know. But when I come across these like box sets of beers where it's not just one same beer and it's a few other beers, I'm more inclined to do them because I like picking up glasses. And yeah, slowly starting to build a collection, much to the distaste of the better half. So let's finally get on with the review, and that, as it's pouring, until it gets to the glass, it almost looks like you're pouring some wine actually. But then of course once it hits the glass, you get that carbonation, you get that nice haziness, and that head builds, which is actually quite a reasonable head actually. I was expecting to have like a head that big with the way I pour beers, but yeah, look at that. That is, you're nowhere near seeing through that at all. It's nice and chalky, lemony, almost like a sherbet lemon drink almost. That's what I'm getting from there. Yeah, you get some nice bits and bobs floating in there, a nice amount of sediment, and then beer poured with about one finger's worth of very fluffy white head. And I tell you what, even though we're coming towards October, this looks absolutely fantastic for a summer drink, in terms of appearance anyway. So let's give it a little bit of a twist, see what we can get out of the nose. Fucking twist. Oh yeah, that's really, really nice. Sherbet lemons. I'm getting like an orangey vibe from it, like an orange juice. And then you get like salad leaves in there. You definitely pick up a little bit of a coriander. The yeast isn't too present on the aroma. Pick up those wheat malts as well, but again, it's not overwhelmingly wheaty. It just smells a little bit more sessionable already compared to like what you'd get from a German wheat beer. It's got a real nice sense of freshness to it. Really, really nice and fruity, nice and zesty. Yeah, very, very satisfying on the nose. And yeah, this could be a really good one. Let's see what it tastes like if I don't spill it everywhere. And of course I have to spill it down the finger where I've cut myself, so it's fucking stinging now. Anyway, let's get this done. Cheers. Oh wow. Wow, wow, wow. I've said it time and time again, I do not like wheat beers. The style itself just doesn't do anything for me. That is so nice. That is really, really nice. Definitely pick up like an orange in there. That lemony vibe I got from the aroma carries on through. It's a bit more delicate though, so if it's been sweetened with a little bit of sugar but not too much. So it's not like lemon juice, which is really, really sour. There's a nice sourness to it, which works well. It's got really nice, not a light body, but it's a little bit lighter than you would expect of a beer of this style. It's really juicy, really vibrant, really spritzy as well. That carbonation comes through beautifully, so it doesn't take its time, like resting on the tongue, that sort of thing. Sometimes when you have beers, you can just feel the heaviness even in the mouth, and it just feels clunky. That's what I don't like about most wheat beers, is how clunky they feel. I know some people like wheat beers because they say it's good for summer, they're actually like really refreshing. I very rarely get refreshed when I drink a wheat beer. But when it's done like this, with that fruity content in there, that Belgian spiciness I should say, that's really, really nice. And yeah, out of the three beers, I was expecting this one to be the one I'd enjoy the least. But I have to say that this is probably the best of the bunch. Really, really high quality. A little spicy bitterness on the back end. Really, really nice. Doesn't leave you dry, but it leaves a thin mouthful, so you just want to go in again and get another swig of it. This is probably one of those beers where connoisseurs of the style will drink this and think, oh, it's just lacking this, it's lacking that, but yeah, that sort of thing. But for me, for my palate, for the fact that I feel quite rough, this is picking me up really, really nicely. It's just that fresh fruitiness in there, mixed with that light spicy note. It's just a really lovely little beer. And you know what? Fair play to Köstritzer for not only venturing out into trying these styles, but doing it like this. This one, it tastes, I don't know, it doesn't, the last two I've had, they were good, but they weren't exactly fantastic examples of the style. They both felt like there was just a little bit holding back, as if, and I'm just, you know, putting this out there, I'm not accusing any brewery of doing anything, but it was almost felt to me as if the guys brewing this, they didn't want to completely overwhelm the palate of regular drinkers. So they kind of like just, we'll be very careful with these recipes, we'll get the style, but we don't want them to be too hoppy and that sort of thing. But with this, I mean, I don't really think you could do that much wrong with a style like this, to be honest. If that makes sense. Didn't make sense to me as it left my mouth. It's just amazing. It's almost like slightly hoppy fruit juice. Not heavy at all on the gut. And yeah, this is a really, really solid beer. Definitely a 9 out of 10 from me, and probably the highlight of the box, even though, you know, the pale ale is probably my favourite style out of the three. But yeah, this is what I like. I like wheat beers when there's something about them, when there's some character to them. And even though Germany is established for their wheat beers, I mean, you get a lot of cloves, a lot of honey in most of them. Excuse me. Especially in like Hefeweizens, or Hefeweizens, I should say. They just feel a little bit, and you'd have like 2 or 3 and you'd be like, I can't drink anymore. But this, on a really hot sunny day, I mean, good beer is good no matter what time of the year. Yeah, I'm waffling on again, I know, I'm sorry, but yeah, summer, you sat outside, you've got like the smell of freshly cut grass in the air, you've got your friends around, you're grilling some meat on the barbecue, that sort of thing, and you're just sitting back, just taking it all in, and this beer is going to complement that perfectly. But no matter what time of the year, this is just a very, very solid wit beer, and yeah, it puts a bit more faith for me into these styles of beer. And when I come across beers like this, I just want to venture more into that style, whether I'd like it, love it, or hate it. And yeah, for a macro brewery venturing into the world of craft beers or manufacturer style beers, I think Köstritzer have done an absolutely wonderful job with this one. And yeah, highly, highly recommended if you hadn't guessed already. So, thank you guys for watching. I've got to say, this is a really good pick-me-up. I feel a hell of a lot better right now. But it's probably just like a placebo effect. But yeah, check out my playlist for all these beers down below. Check out the brewery as well. You all know it for the Schwarzbier, which is really, really nice. And especially for this time of the year. But yeah, hats off to these guys for venturing into the world of craft. And with this beer especially, doing a really good job with it. Well, it's not really craft because it's a traditional Belgian style. You know what I mean. Just stop talking, Peter. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching. I'm going to fill myself up with some nice greasy food, make it feel a little bit more better. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is like about 4 o'clock right now, so I'm not drinking this in the morning. I've done probably 2 morning beer reviews and they just didn't end up coming out well at all. So morning beers are not my thing, but yeah, if I'd have woke up and drank this, I might have felt a little bit more energised. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for putting up with me for over 15 minutes. And yeah, very, very satisfied with this box. And the glass and this beer alone would have been worth the price that I paid. Really, really good. Thank you guys for watching, and I shall see you later.